Hello, and welcome to another episode of United DNA. I'm Hugo, your explainer-in-chief, and today we will be discussing the game between Manchester United and Brentford. The two sides squared off on Monday evening at Old Trafford, with Man United coming away from the encounter with all 3 points. Bruno Fernandes scored the first goal of the game in the 9th minute with a volleyed strike from the edge of the 6-yard box following a pinpoint cross from youngster Anthony Elanga. Ronaldo then scored what he thought was the second goal of the game in the 43rd minute, side-footing a Mata cross past a helpless David Raya in the Brentford post, only for the goal to be chalked off following a VAR review. In the second half, Ronaldo finally grabbed his goal via a penalty after he was brought down in the box by the Brentford fullback Rico Henry. The game was then put to bed by Raphael Varane, who scored his first Man United goal in the 72nd minute, getting on the end of an Alex Telles corner kick with a nice volley that flew in past the goalkeeper's head. Man United controlled the game throughout, with Mata and Ronaldo providing some particularly impressive displays. The win takes Manchester United up to 58 points this season with 2 games left to play. With Champions League football seemingly out of sight and Brentford almost seating comfortable in mid-table with 40 points, this match could almost be said to have been a dead rubber game. Nevertheless, it provided some useful insight as to what we can expect going forward and areas that we can improve on. First up, wingers to track back more. It may seem trivial and obvious to say this, but anyone that watched the game against Chelsea could tell that they exploited the fact that Marcus Rashford didn't track back nearly enough, if ever. And their only goal of the game came from Reece James finding space on the flank and whipping in a cross which was eventually turned in on the volley at the far post by an unmarked Marcos Alonso. Last night Ralf Rangnick started Bruno Fernandes and Anthony Elanga on the flanks, and the improvement was obvious. From the first whistle to the last, they continuously tracked back and covered the opposition fullbacks, making sure the United fullbacks, Darlow and Telles, were never isolated and double-teamed. I won't say it's simple, but it's pretty basic. Follow your man, and the winger duty on defense is to mark the fullback and protect the wide areas. This season, especially when Marcus Rashford plays, we haven't done this enough. During the Chelsea game at half-time, Jamie Carragher criticised his lack of defensive effort, and we paid the price for that with the second half goal. So next season I really hope Erik ten Hag can get Rashford playing again and tracking back often as Elanga does, or sell him and get someone that can put in a defensive shift. Jadon Sancho isn't exempt from criticism here. As much as he offers more than Rashford does in defence, it is still lacking, and great improvements can be made. If I say the likes of Burnley, Newcastle and Everton, teams fighting for safety in the league, have attackers that regularly track back. One might say they concede a lot, so defense is important for them. But that's the case with us. We have conceded a lot this season. 2 games left to play and our goal difference is +5. Man City are on +63, Liverpool +64. Chelsea +39, Arsenal +13, Tottenham on +20, and here we are on +5. We have conceded 52 goals this season, same with Brentford, and that is counting the 3 we scored against them on Monday. So without it, they had a better defensive record than us. They are 14th on the Premier League table. Burnley has conceded less, so has Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Wolves, who are 4th by the way, on goals conceded this season. How we are still 6th on the table is really surprising to me. And that is why this is the first takeaway from the game. Man United makes defending unnecessarily hard. We are talking about buying another centre-back, and to be honest I believe the ones at Man United now aren't that bad. We can't say Varane, Maguire and Lindelof are bad defenders. Honestly, conceding 52 goals when Wolves are on 32 isn't because our defenders are worse than theirs. It's a team game, and more often than not our attackers leave the defending for the defense alone. And that's just wrong. Take a look at the big teams. Liverpool, for instance, their wingers track back really well, same with Man City and Chelsea. I know in some instances that the winger is the outlet man. Then in that case it's on the manager to make sure the team adjusts well on defense so the backline isn't dragged out of shape time and time again. Takeaway number 2. Prioritize technical players. For the first time this season we started a game with Matic, Fernandes and Mata in and around the middle of the park, and the difference in ball retention and control in the midfield was clear. When I watch teams like Brighton, Wolves, West Ham, Crystal Palace, there is something they have that Man United really lack, and that is technical players in the middle of the pitch. And these players are the ones that make the difference. To some Man United fans that watched the game on Monday, Juan Mata was the man of the match with a very refreshing and dazzling display, and really they won't be wrong. But you know what? His performance yesterday is something teams like Brighton, Wolves, West Ham and Crystal Palace see from their midfield players on a daily. From Bissouma and Gross at Brighton, Neves and Moutinho at Wolves, Rice and Bowen at West Ham, and Conor Gallagher and possibly Iber Eze and Michael Olise at Crystal Palace. These are all technical players that understand how to control a game, speed it up or slow it down in order to regain control. They provide the line-breaking forward passes, put in the crunch tackle when needed and get out of tight spaces with ease. So that even on days when their team loses they almost always put in a quality shift. These are qualities the United midfield have lacked this season. Very inconsistent. Our usually midfield core of McFred isn't technical at all, I'm sorry to say, and Fernandes this season looks to find Ronaldo at every opportunity, resulting in so many possession turnover. This is also something I expect Ten Hag to address. Picking your moments and knowing when an attacker is open to receive the ball. Mata reminded us yesterday that although his legs may be gone, he is still an elite number 10 and can still contribute at Premier League level. Which makes me think keeping him might not be a bad option. It will be easier trying to find players without high technical ability at teams like Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich than it will be to count those that possess such attributes. However, going forward I strongly suggest we only sign players that have high technical abilities, as they offer way more positives than a player with just good physical attributes but no technical ability. CC Marcus Rashford, onto number 3. Ronnie still got it. Ronaldo was named the official man of the match in Monday's game and no one would argue with that. In what was one of his most complete games for Man United this season, Ronaldo was everywhere, linking up play in midfield, trying cute trick and flick-ons and even tracking back to win back possession. It has been reported that United are in the hunt for another striker, maybe two. But if Ronaldo stays another season, I won't mind him playing in that number 9 role and putting up performances like he did on Monday. The guy at 37 is relentless and showed some good leadership attributes in the game, which makes me think making him captain next season might not be a bad idea. I used to think earlier this year that Ronaldo was past it and done at the top level. But since his hat-trick against Tottenham it's like he's found a new lease on life at the top and long may it continue. Number 4 takeaway, optimism for Ten Hag. After the game against Liverpool and Arsenal, Manchester United's interim coach Ralf Rangnick concluded that the team needed at least 6, 7 or maybe 10 new players to be able to compete. The only position he didn't complain about was the goalkeepers, saying David De Gea and Dean Henderson were good quality goalkeepers. But after Monday's victory against Brentford, and I know this isn't versus Man City or any of the big teams, there's cause for optimism for the incoming coach. The good coaching and approach to games rather than new players might be the way to go. Man United were confident in possession, compact in defense and pressed very well all through the game, which resulted in having a season-high 700 plus passes, 91% pass accuracy and 65% ball possession. Compared to the Chelsea game still at Old Trafford where we had less than 350 passes, 78% passing accuracy and 35% ball possession. This was marked improvement, and the only difference in terms of personnel was Juan Mata, who came in for Marcus Rashford. Remind you, this was the same Brentford team that dismantled Chelsea 4-1 at Stamford Bridge not too long ago. I believe that the talent is there, the potential is there, with a few new quality signings and leadership that I'm hopeful Ten Hag will bring, Man United could challenge for the trophy next season. LOL, realistically maybe be in the mix. And finally, Diogo Dalot is quality but needs to concentrate more. Diogo Dalot had a mixed game on Monday. While he provided the pre-assist for the first goal with a perfectly weighted lofted pass to Anthony Elanga down the flank, and also played a similar pass to Ronaldo that resulted in the penalty in the second half. He played a couple of wayward passes with one that could have resulted in an own goal, if it was a couple feet to the left. He also couldn't find his man with the cross on some good goal-scoring occasions, and on defense, lost his man at times and had to be bailed out by Victor Lindelof. He is often too casual with the square pass and has been accused of being an aesthetic crosser rather than an accurate one. His less than 70% passing accuracy in the first half was the lowest in the team. I still think he can be a good defender but needs to improve his concentration level throughout the game. Maybe a dominant centre-back to grab him by the collar and scream obscenities into his face from time to time is what he needs. With rumours growing on Aaron Wan-Bissaka's potential exit from the club, Darlow can make the right-back spot his own, but first he needs to maintain a high level of concentration throughout the game, which I believe will see his attacking and defensive errors greatly reduce. That's it for our show today. Make sure to hit the like button at the bottom of your screen and leave a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the game and also your expectations for next season. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so that you don't miss any videos dropping soon. Take care and until next time. Ciao.